Common sense and not emotions. Most important when protecting school children. I'm Mark Stewart Greenstein. This is a double edition of the Daily Fire. So it came up twice in the debate today at Ram High School. This was brought about by students, hosted by Fox 61's Matt Caron. And the question about protecting students came up twice. First from Matt, another student had a follow-up. I want to synthesize my response. We, to protect students, do not need vestibules. We do not need Kevlar walls. We do not need checkpoints. We don't want to turn our schools into a prison of their own. Whether we want armed teachers should be a district by district and even school by school decision. In rural areas of Connecticut, where many individuals are trained well at a young age with firearms, they know how to clean them, how to control them, where to point them, where not to point them, and they know the deadliness that ensues if used the wrong way. Those are people that we probably can trust their teachers to be able to be guardians. No matter what, there is one good thing on the outside that we should do, and that is use armed marshals. Armed, background checked, trained, and maybe more than one of them, lest there be a posse of mayhem desiring people wanting to get into the school. Thus far, we've had lone shooters, but I do think the possibility of a multitude and therefore having a second person available to mow them down if they brandish their weaponry. I think it's a good thing. And the common sense element stems from this. Police cannot protect against somebody wielding a weapon, not even a gun, okay? A knife can slit multiple kids' throats before you can take him down with maybe your bare hands, maybe a posse of other people. One gun does it. It deters in the first place. That's my biggest goal, so that the person who is looking to harm kids doesn't get in the first place. Maybe doesn't even try. And I'll give you a micro and a macro example of this. Micro, one Buford Furrow Jr., who in 1999 shot up a lot of innocent Jews in Granada Hills, California. He actually had his eye on 3 other Jewish institutions before ending up at a JCC. He was deterred from shooting where there was even more possibility of harm because there were security issues for him to unload. He went with the least resistance, where there was no security in place, and got inside, maimed, didn't kill, but maimed 5 people, went on to another place, and then actually did murder a postal worker. Macro. The shootings that you hear about take place in gun-free zones. Were they not gun-free zones? Were there those trained marshals, ex-military, ex-police, or just plain civilians who've gone through good training, good background checks at schools, I don't think you're going to have a shooting again. Think why. Why would somebody who wants to take out people go after a school with innocent kids? By comparison, why not go after the authority? You're going to go down in a glutadamaron. You know you're probably not going to make it out. Why not shoot up the police? Go to a police precinct. They don't. Because they know, since everyone in that police precinct is armed, they're not going to get far. Doing their final whatever act gets deterred because of the knowledge of people having guns. The gun is the best weapon for defense that we've ever created. Now, it happens to be a very good weapon for offense too, and this is the problem. But I err on the side of defense because it's my family, because it's my community that could get shot up with nobody else to save them in time. At the debate this morning, one of my opponents cited the Sandy Hook massacre for ultimately controlling guns. But since we can't control the wielders of guns, there are 300 million of them, and they're not going to all get confiscated. You attempt to do that, you end up leaving guns only in the hands of the bad people. Sandy Hook is actually an example for good guys with guns, because Adam Lanza doesn't get far. He might not even get in. He probably doesn't even attempt to go to a school when he knows that he would get cut down early. We need that kind of deterrent. We need mental health scrutiny as well. But that kind of deterrent is your ultimate defense, and I think common sense, not emotions, needs to be in play here when we talk about gun restrictions. I'm Mark Stewart Greenstein.